lean into whatever makes you you and what has kind of all of the different factors that have sort of puzzle pieced themselves together to bring you to who you are today.
Nobody cares about the huge offer and the nice flyer anymore. They want that emotional tie back. They want to feel something and in congruence with who they are and who you are, who your business is, so that they align.
Welcome to the Art of Kaizen for Entrepreneurs, growing 1% everyday podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Art of Kaizen for Entrepreneurs podcast, where we discuss how to grow 1% every day in both business and self. Today, we have a rock star of a marketer, specifically in the organic content development space. Maddie Beumee from Live Like Mad is helping business owners feel empowered to develop content through her 6-step framework of creating viral content for your business. Thank you, Maddie, for joining us.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, I mean, you have a very, very critical position right now in the world of marketing. Everybody and their grandmother is trying to develop content. Literally everybody and their grandma nowadays is trying to develop content for their business. But it seems like that you'll have that weird differentiation between the business owner that is utterly confident and will shoot every single thing on their phone compared to the ones that barely want to pick up their phone in the first place to make a piece of content. And it seems like you're really building a system to empower these people and show them the right way to developing the content. Can you tell me kind of how this came to be and the structure you have in place and a little background about yourself?
Yeah. So, a little background, and this probably infiltrates why I think the way I think, but I actually went to school for theater, performed professionally pre pandemic. So, being on camera, in front of a camera, does feel natural to me, so to speak. But at the same time, I know a lot of the time and energy and takes and process of working towards that confidence. I literally went to school for it. So, I understand the concept of putting in the reps and all of that. So when I switched into marketing, and that's a very winding path, longer story, but my one of my first clients who eventually I went in house with, we were building their personal brand and basically building them up as an influencer. And a big part of that was watching them evolve over the years and really step into and owning the role of being a creator. And as much as they are a business owner, they have to kind of today in today's landscape also take on that title of creator. And I just noticed how much that opened the doors for all of the different areas of the business with that individual, and felt like this is something that more people need access to and also need to be excited by. I think there is something really great about founders when they kind of own their creative process, their content creation process, and kind of can bring it in-house and collaborate with someone, but they still have a lot of that ownership as well. So I'm really, really adamant and passionate about providing resources and education to those individuals in a very accessible manner. And that's sort of the core pillar of my business.
Oh, incredible too. And just so everyone understands, it is not easy to talk in front of cameras, right?
Oh, not at all. And I think that's also something that I'm passionate about, is sort of reworking this preconceived idea that everyone is a broadcast journalist and can do it in one take and it's perfect and it's, succinct and it's delivered amazingly. Like, I reiterate and reiterate, like, I will take multiple takes, and the clip you're seeing on TikTok or on Instagram is take number 8. Like, it's totally normal to kind of have to try it a few different times and see what works and what eventually feels the most natural.
Well, you brought up a really interesting point there about creators, right? Because prior to social media, prior to the development of content creators and influencers, business owners were the creators. And without business owners, the world doesn't move forward. Like Atlas Shrugs is a great book that explains this. And it really takes it into the account of how you, me, the business owner listening to this right now, we were the creators of the world. We're the ones that built the business, that built the house, that built the business, that built the farm, that built the business, that built the business, right? So the new age of creators is not, I don't think it's so new age. As you said, these business owners, they are creators. They just need to know how to do it in a visual sense and getting in front of the customer the right way. So is that the biggest, when you look at the challenges in your industry and you start diving into how you can really help these people, do you find more people in the position of they don't feel comfortable with the actually being on camera, or they don't know what to say, or they don't know what to shoot? What's the biggest issue you normally run into when you're trying to help out these clients?
Yeah, I think it's kind of falls into two buckets. So either they have all of these ideas, but they are just not confident. So they are like, I know what to do, but every time I record something, I have to re record it or I just hate it and I delete it. So I either think people fall into a confidence bucket or the plan of execution. And so it's sort of like, I know I need to be doing this, but I don't logistically know the process of bringing ideas that I'm having in my mind or I discuss in a meeting into actual pieces of content that can live on the various channels. So I think it's really figuring out what's your pain point and then kind of we work together in different capacities of all right, well, how do we sort of get over that hurdle and get you excited with systems and a streamlined process to do so?
Okay, so I got to ask, who's your favorite person to work with, right? When it comes to this, obviously e-commerce is big in the creative development, but I think there's so many blue oceans in the industry of content creation in the sense of financial advisors, in the sense of home improvement businesses, in the sense of more archaic ideologies, even insurance agents is a huge opportunity. There's millions of insurance agents out there, and I still don't really know what insurance does, right? Like you have to be in a position to educate the consumers, and that's a blue ocean for a lot of these categories. So for you, Maddie, what is your favorite client to work with? Who walks through the front door and calls you and you're like, I'm about to knock it out of the park with this person?
Yeah, so I love working with someone whose values or mission that they are educating individuals on is aligned with mine. It just makes my job 10 times easier. And I feel like the creative juices just flow because I'm excited about kind of word getting out or what you were saying. I think what's been beautiful about social media is it's democratized a lot of information that would have previously been something you had to seek out or even had the knowledge of or idea of and then go read a book or find a news outlet or something like that. I think a lot more information in regards to financial transparency or anything like that has become more readily available. So I think when I am excited about helping them elevate and spread the word about their mission, like that is my I think from a beliefs and values perspective, like that makes me super happy. But then when it comes to what they actually do, I love working with online businesses in the digital product space. A lot of my background is in that. So figuring out ways where we can sort of get creative about how we're presenting that information and build their community from there.
Oh, I love that. Love that. So if you're a business owner listening to this right now, if you're an entrepreneur and you have a vision, if you have your mission statement structured, your vision set structured, your goals of your business structured, and you know what you want to put out to the world and you don't know how to do it in a video sense, you've got to reach out to Maddie here and get some consulting on exactly how to put that into place. Or if you're the exact opposite and you have all the confidence in the world to shoot a video, but every time you get on there, it's getting 5 to 10 likes or comments and you're not getting a single customer from it, you need a better strategy. And Maddie Beumee here can definitely help you with the development of that. So let's go a little bit deeper into your business and kind of how you're unique, right? Obviously, your background puts you in a position where you understand how to speak to consumers on a different level being on stage. But how do you implement that knowledge and what other differentiations do you have or unique selling propositions in your business specifically that help these businesses above and beyond compared to your competition?
Yeah. So I think more than ever, we're chasing virality, which as someone who's gone viral in very different capacities, a viral video can be instrumental in the next 6, 12 months of your business if your process for sort of what's the plan after this video goes viral is set in stone or put together, or going viral can literally just be a flash in the pan. And so I think something that I'm really passionate about kind of in simultaneously with the content you're creating is what is the goal of this content? Like, we are at the end of the day, businesses trying to drive towards more sales. We want views on the website. We want just lead capture, whatever it is. I'm always that strategist that's working with someone like, what is the end goal of this piece of content we're creating? Not everything has to be so orchestrated, but I'm also not a huge fan of let's just do this to like get views and go viral and case in point, like all of our business problems will be solved because really, as much as we all wish it works that way, it doesn't work that way. So I'm passionate about either, discussing it with you, your team, sort of what's the plan of execution for the next steps that they take from this video or what action we're trying to get them to take.
Entrepreneurs and business owners, listen to that. This is such a powerful statement. There is millions of businesses and freelancers that are out there talking about how they can develop assets, what they can do for approach into the market, how you get impressions, but very, very few are focused on the true goal of business growth, which is revenue generating efforts. And Maddie here is breaking down how she's looking at your business, how to develop creative to get that messaging across to become viral, but it leads to the revenue generating efforts of the company. That is the core responsibility as a marketers. Maddie, you seem like you got it down. It really seemed like you've built a system and you have a clear understanding of creative storyboarding and an ideology around these businesses that will support them in getting the assets they need out to the market. But to understand what you know and kind of build the business that you have, you got to go through some trials and tribulations, some difficulties to get where you are. Do you have a specific challenge or a problem that you faced when developing this company that you had to overcome that might have changed you or changed the way you do business that some of the listeners would resonate with here?
Yeah, I think for myself, and I think anyone who maybe has a little bit more of an untraditional pathway to something can deal with a ton of imposter syndrome and sort of like, who am I to be saying these things or giving this advice? And I think for a while I stayed away or I sort of shied away from sharing parts of my background in theater or whatever it is because I felt like I didn't want it to detract from what I could do and what I could deliver. And like, I didn't want someone to look at the results I would receive for someone and say, oh, but like you don't have a, degree in X, Y, or Z. And I think when I stepped into the fact that it's like, yeah, I don't have a traditional background in that, but I've taught myself all of this stuff through actual trial and error, throwing things up, seeing what works, becoming a creator myself, growing an organic audience myself. That's actually such a uh, kind of exciting opportunity and an exciting, unique element of me. And so especially when I talk to people who are looking to get into the industry, I always emphasize, like lean into whatever makes you you and what has kind of all of the different factors that have sort of puzzle pieced themselves together to bring you to who you are today.
Oh, Maddie, I love that. The transparency and the openness that's needed to really be a business owner. And across the board, the development of who you are as a person and kind of how that fits, I think resonates with how you're actually enacting this content development project that you're doing with the clients, right? You want them to be open, you want them to be transparent, you want them to be raw. Why?
Mhm.
Or listen to this right now. Why do you need to be raw? Why do you need to be transparent? Because your customers know they're bullshit. You're bullshitting them. It's straight up. Nobody cares about the huge offer and the nice flyer anymore. They want that emotional tie back. They want to feel something and in congruence with who they are and who you are, who your business is, so that they align with it. There's none of the days anymore where there's one business for one service. There's now 100 business for each individual service out there. So when they pick you as a company, they want to make sure they know who you are and they resonate with you. And that's what Maddie's doing for her clients. She's developing the assets that allow you to not only get the sales, but have that resonation with the customer by being raw, by being true and being true to yourself. Super powerful message, Maddie. Seriously. And, when it comes to you getting your brand message out there and you as a person, keep being you, right? And every business owner out there, if you go through the trials and tribulations of becoming a business owner, stand true, stand strong, and stand to your failures. Because if you're still there working today and you're still being successful, it means you became better. You overcame it. You found what we would call your Kaizen. So, Maddie, I got a question for you about the future. Where is everything going, right? The development, I believe that you're on the cutting edge of content development, which means that you're bringing the psychology of the consumers and you're bringing the mission of the business into content development, right? The mission is sales. The actual empathy and the emotional tieback of the business is the transparency that you're bringing in. But with AI and the new video development and in the fact that, like we said earlier, everyone's trying to be a content creator, where do you see your role in the next 5 years? Where do you see your industry developing into as the craziness of AI happens and as the world changes? Are you going to be focusing on, say, VR and AR type things? Are you going to lean more into empathetic factors because AI does not have that? Where do you see the industry going?
Yeah, I think as the industry changes, and even in the last span of the last few years, as new platforms come to be and there's new LinkedIn is doing video and all of these new factors appear, I think but like you were saying, those core things don't change. So for me, I think storytelling and human to human connection has been a principal core factor of marketing in anything for the last 100 years. And I think it will continue on that trajectory. At the end of the day, you're speaking to a person, even if you're using AI and other things to sort of get there and relay that message. It's another human being at the other side of your phone, of your content. And so I will probably in 5 to 10 years be reminding people of the same thing. Like, you are speaking to a person, so, have empathy, compassion, and kind of keep that at the forefront.
And it should be a core value for every business. If you're a business owner listening to this and you do not know your core values, your vision, your mission statement, your archetype, right? This is something that not a lot of business owners truly understand is how do I talk to people in the market? How am I supposed to be represented in the market? What is my personal perception of my business and the perspective that I leave for the customers that see it and the differentiation between those two things? So Maddie, I couldn't agree with you more. I think the core values of marketing are not going to change, and that the messaging and the empathy that's needed to find success and actually move to a sale will always be there at the core value of everything that we do in marketing. You're super intelligent, Maddie. You're on top of your stuff. You obviously have a great background. So here's my favorite question of this interview. How do you find your Kaizen? For the listeners out there, Kaizen is a Japanese business philosophy that means 1% improvement every single day in both business and in self. For me, it's wake up in the morning working out consistently. If I work out, if I don't work out, I probably couldn't sit on this podcast right now. I got baggage underneath my eyes and be half asleep. And then a constant retention of podcasts, YouTube videos. I read a book every 2 weeks, so on and so forth. This is how I find my Kaizen. So, Maddie, I'm curious, what do you do to find your Kaizen? How do you find that opportunity to improve yourself every single day in both business and in your personal life?
Yeah, I think finding that has been also the bane of my existence at times, because I think I have a fear of, like, if I'm not evolving or growing, like, I fear staying stagnant. So I too am a gym goer through and through every single day. I always joke like I'm a better, nicer person after I've had endorphins. I just need to get like my mind going. It's my time for me. And I think I'm going to get on a little soapbox here, but going to the gym and sort of that routine of exercising the muscle and showing up for yourself translates to so many other factors of your life. Like, I always make the correlation between showing up to the gym and creating content, where you can't just go once and be like, I made one video, like now I can do it, like I'm done. It's like the process and routine of exercising the muscle, showing up, gaining more confidence, all of that. So I'm a definite gym goer. In the past, I think, have really enjoyed training for specific things, whether it's a half marathon, triathlon. I think that has really been something that has made me realize, like, if I can do this thing that I never thought was possible, like almost swimming a mile in a triathlon, I think in regards to personal and business, I'm like, I can do anything because I got through the middle of this lake. Like, I can handle anything a client sends my way. I can figure out changing algorithms, anything like that. So I think sort of pushing out of my comfort zone has been a really, really great way to experience growth as well.
I love that. And for all of you out there that are trying to make videos, I can guarantee if you go and work out, you go for a heavy run, you lift some heavy weights, you push yourself to a point of basically not being able to succeed and still pushing and finding that goal, the video will seem a lot easier, right? Matt, I love what you said of waking up in the morning with some endorphins, and that's what makes you a happier person. I think across the board as business owners, we have to push ourselves to find a challenge that's going to be bigger than what we're going to deal with throughout the day. If I wake up in the morning and I hit a new PR in bench press and I do incredible working out, then the next fire that comes onto my board is going to be a lot less daunting than it would be if I started my day with doing nothing, with no challenge
Mhm.
accomplished. Right. So I love that. It's a great way to find the Kaizen. And again, for the listeners out there, one big thing you need to pull out of that is find challenges, make yourself uncomfortable, push yourself. to the next limit. That will make it so you feel more comfortable in your skin. You know who you are, and it'll make it so you'll be making bomb content with Maddie here for your business. So, last question, little bonus question for you. Have you ever heard of the book Atlas Shrugs?
I have not, but I feel like I need to write it down and add it to my list.
I brought it up a little bit earlier. It's a massive book, very long, but the conceptual ideology of what it's written around is extremely powerful. For the listeners out there and for Maddie, Atlas Shrugs is a book that talks about how us as business owners, we move the world forward. Every single day, as an owner of a company, if you own a marketing agency, a creative company, if you own a home improvement company, we are the ones that are putting the world on our shoulders and we're moving the world forward every single day. Without business, there is really no progression throughout the world. Atlas Shrugs is a book that talks about what if we all just gave up? What if you, me, and every business owner in the world today just shrugged our business off our shoulders and say, we're not running our company anymore. I'm cashing out, I'm taking my money, I'm done. If that happened, Maddie, what would be the first business that you would open tomorrow?
Oh, I don't That's like, I am really stumped. It's funny, I think less so what business would I do and other, like, career things. Like, for some reason, I was like, I feel like it would be so fun to work at Peloton because I just love their I think a core value that I have as a human being is empowering others, and I think it goes back to my favorite instructors who are like, if you're showing up and, like, you're doing the hard shit in this room. I'm sorry if I can't curse on here.
We can curse.
Um, but, like, if you're showing up and you're doing, like, this hard thing right here, like, the hard thing that's gonna come at you in 2 hours is not gonna phase you. And so I think probably that. I feel like I now have, like, a journal prompt question that I need to, like, dig into, with what I would do. I don't know if I would do, build a business as opposed to probably just find ways to travel, explore the world, and, like, learn and dive into different cultures probably.
I love it. But one of the first thing you said is you have a core value of you're there to motivate and support people. That's the basis of your business. For everybody listening right now as an entrepreneur or a business owner, if you are thinking about making content and you're a little intimidated, you might be a little scared, you don't know how to present yourself, you got to reach out to Maddie. If you have a bunch of ideas and you have the confidence and you know that you can make videos, but they're just not hitting the right way, reach out to Maddie Beumee from Live Like Mad and connect with her to get a strategic guidance on what you need to do for your business to align your vision, your idea, your mission, your emotions, and your sales all into a single video. Maddie, if someone wanted to reach out to you and connect with you, where would be the best place for them to find you?
Yeah, you can head to my website at livelikemad.co, or you can find me on Instagram, livelikemad.co, or I'm on LinkedIn with my name, Maddie Beumee. That's where you can find me.
I love it. For the listeners out there, if you guys have finished this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and reach out to Maddie. Her details are going to be in the description below. Click on her link, reach out to her. Seriously, there's a lot of people we talk about with creative development to have the background that you do and be in the position of understanding of sales and marketing like you have. You have something very unique going on. And if you need help with creative, make sure you reach out to Maddie. Maddie, thank you so much for the time. I appreciate you having on you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.